Good evening, everybody. This is Victor the Voice Fuhrman, along with the amazing... What is that?
That's our new intro music.
Oh.
That's our new intro music.
Well, hello, everybody. This is Victor the Voice Fuhrman, along with Christopher George, and welcome to the Red Room, Crossing the Line. Chris, what are we going to be talking about tonight?
Tonight, Victor, we're going to be talking about dressing up and role play, and hopefully we have some callers with the onions to call in with their, role play and dressing up stories. That's what the show's about. It's about calling in, not being embarrassed, But what's great is when you call in, you can't put a face to the voice, So you have nothing to worry about. It's pretty much anonymous, because who the hell knows who you are. Station. Vic?
Yes.
Okay, I keep hearing you going muted, unmuted. Hopefully people can hear us.
Yeah, I think the Skype might be a little flaky tonight. I hope everybody can hear. But, Chris, sexual role-playing is a method by which you heighten your sexual arousal by reenacting a scenario, wooing or seducing your partner in a manner that arouses them just as much as it arouses you. Basically, sexual role play is a game of seduction where you and your partner enact different characters and dress up like the character and make sexual advances at each other. You could be the doctor while your partner could be the patient, or just about any different scenario that arouses you. Santa and the naughty elf, anybody? Most of the time, sex. Yeah, right. Most of the time, sex just happens without any preparation or planning. Someone decides to get horny, and the repetition and habit has taught us that you know enough about how you're supposed to feel. 5 or maybe 25 minutes later, one of you rolls off and the other probably feigns death. But with sexual role play, this would never happen because you're a part of an act that will eventually end in sex. The whole time you're thinking about nothing but sex, and you're getting aroused thinking about it, and you can't wait to pounce on your mate. So, Chris, what type of sexual role play have you been involved in?
Oh, Jesus, we're going right in for it, aren't we?
Oh, yeah, baby.
Well, I had a girlfriend one time in the military who was, I can't believe I'm going to say this. I might as well say it before Chrissy gets here. She was very into monkeys, and am I really going to tell this story, Victor?
She had a hairy, what'd you say? She had a hairy monkey? Did you just say
No,
she had a hairy
I don't do hairy girls. They have to be completely shaved or very well manicured for me to get anywhere near it. I've actually had women, I've actually gotten into bed with women and they were too hairy for me and I've made them go into the shower and shave. But that's just me. But this one girl was into monkeys and, oh God, she bought me a monkey outfit. And, this is going to really get me. I mean, people are going to look at me so bad after this. Anyway, I actually wore a monkey outfit, cut a hole in it down there, and beat my chest and did all that. And I got to tell you, she went crazy. I felt like a fool, and that's the short version.
Chris, did you play King Kong? That's all I want to know. Were you King Kong in that role?
If I didn't play King Kong, I sure as hell tried.
Oh.
No, hold on a second. Who's talking in the background? Is that Jeremy?
That's Jeremy, our friend Tucker Jeremy, laughing in the background. Hey, Jeremy.
That's me. I'm sorry, man. I'm just, the mental image that I just got was great. Thank you.
Oh, God. No, I was contemplating all day. I spoke to Jeremy earlier today, Victor, and he was telling me what he wanted to talk about tonight, and his stuff is kind of controversial. And I told him, I said, wait till you hear my story. And I can't believe I'm going to actually tell it, but I did. And I got to tell you, I've never, ever said that to anybody before.
Hey, Trucker, Jeremy can't say anything more controversial than last week when he told us that he has rings through the tip of his penis, and then I made the comment that thing was so big you should put a leash on that ring and take it out for a walk. Right, Jeremy?
Yeah. Yeah, that's...
No. Trust me, this week is a bit more controversial than that.
Jeremy, lay it on us, baby. Lay it on us.
You sure you want me to go first, man?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I think we should wait for Jeremy. I think what we should do is hear your story first, Victor. Yeah, I'm putting you on the spot, Mr. Man.
Chris, listen, here's my dress-up fantasy. You know, when I was a kid, I always loved to play doctor. And when I got into my late teens and early 20s, and I used to go to parties and so on, I used to tell girls that I was in medical school. And I was pre-med when I was in college. I never finished it, but I was pre-med. And I used to say, well, why don't we play gynecologist and patient? And so they would go along with me. And then I said, Miss, before I examine you, are you sensitive down there? And she'd say, yes, doctor, I'm very sensitive. And I said, would you like me to numb it for you? And she goes, yes, would you please? And I would go, num, 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 num.
You were chowing down, weren't you, buddy?
Yes, I am. Yes, I was.
Listen, you know, before we get to Jeremy, I know that we have Erica and Kelly in the queue. Why don't we bring Erica on first? Erica, are you with us?
This is Erica.
Miss Erica Gesh, where are you?
I'm right here. Can you hear me?
Okay, Erica. Now,
Erica, are you sensitive down there? Would you like me to numb it for you?
Listen, Erica, this is Jane Doe. Remember?
Okay.
Hello, Jane Doe. So, Jane, what is your role play or dress up story that you have for us?
Well, I have a bunch, but I'll just throw out real quick. I love masks. Like, I have to say, the anonymous mask was pretty hot.
The anonymous.
And, you could buy those, so me and my husband bought one.
Nice. I've done some mask play myself. Actually, I've done a lot of mask play.
Yeah, he's the hacker.
So come on, give us some more stories here. You can't just give us mask play.
Chris, is that like masturbation?
Who?
You, Miss Doe.
Okay, what now?
I want to hear a full story. I don't want to just hear about mask play.
Well, okay, one time there was this guy, okay, this is just way long time ago, and, I was at this, what do you want to call it, community kind of gathering, and that where everybody was helping everybody go to this Halloween party. So it's just, we all kind of, were being creative and stuff. And so I helped this guy get into a, transvestite-looking outfit thingy-majiggy, and he was extremely hot. And so we were doing
he looked hot as a tranny?
Yeah, he did. He looked better as a tranny.
Oh, God.
Well, I thought he was hot before, but he just pulled it off. I don't know what, when he started strutting in them heels. Strutter! You know what I'm saying? And we danced, and, it was just an enjoyable. I mean, I actually didn't get to do anything with him, but believe me, I wanted to, so.
Oh, I believe it. So, Jeremy, don't go anywhere, Erica or Jane. Stay with us, please. And, Jeremy.
Yes, sir.
Would you like to give your disclaimer now?
Okay, yeah. In what my story is about rape play, knife play, and rope bondage. In no way, shape, form, or fashion do I condone raping somebody. But if it's between two consensual adults and you're being safe and, it's a fantasy or whatever, hey, go for it. But it was set up to where I was hiding in the house when she come home, and I had one of those neoprene masks on that had the skull on it, like what bikers would use. It covers their ears and their face, but it leaves the top of the head open. So I had that on, and I had my Bowie knife, and I waited for her to get into the shower. And I let her get in there and do her thing, and for a couple minutes, and then I snuck into the bathroom. And
oh, Jeremy, hold on one second, Jeremy. So while she's in the shower and you're waiting for her, you're waiting to pounce and all that, and do your thing and get into the whole role play. What's going through your mind at that moment? Are you excited? Are you nervous? What's going on?
Well, the thing is we had talked about it, and it was something that she wanted to do. So of course I was excited, man, because it's something that she wanted. And hey, if you love and trust the person that you're with, you should want to try things out that excite.
I agree completely.
If you don't do that, then you're going to search for it someplace else. So
I agree completely.
It was cool,
Sexual healing. You gave that to her, didn't you, man?
To what?
Sorry.
Go ahead, Jeremy.
Jeremy strutted in there like, I can't get this neoprene over my big lumpy bump down there, didn't you, man? No, strip man.
No. All right, Jeremy, let get on with the story.
So I had the mask on. I had the knife in my hand. I went and pulled the curtain back. I grabbed her by the hair, pulled her out of the shower, took her into the bedroom, bent her over the bed, and I put my knife on top of her back, and I took the rope that I had and I tied her hands, and I took 2 pillowcases, one inside the other, and I put it over her head so she couldn't see, and flipped her over and ate her pussy and had my way with her. And
okay, now as this is going on, now you're obviously you're role playing. So now what is she doing at this point? Is she fighting you off? Is she saying, no, Jeremy, no? No, Jeremy, no, don't do that. How's it going?
Yeah, she fought back a little bit, It was cool, and, I held her down, and that's what she wanted. I held her down and put my knife on her chest and laid it there and told her that, hey, if you move again, I'm going to put this knife in you. So
I gotta share something with you guys. Jeremy, I did the exact same thing to my wife one night. And when I had the pillow over her head, she said, "Is that you, Jeremy?" I couldn't believe she said that. That was
just it was awesome, dude, because her hands were tied behind her back, her legs were tied, so I ate her pussy, and she was squirming, and it was cool. It was an experience, and we had set up a safe word, and if she felt like it was going too far, she would say it, and then everything would stop, but she didn't, and we kept going, and
Jeremy, what was your safe word that night?
Potato.
Potato.
Jeremy, would it have been a nightmare situation if you wouldn't have realized that her mom was staying and she took the shower first by accident?
Oh, yeah, her mom's in Texas, so I don't have to worry about that.
And she took the pillowcase off, and her mom says, Jeremy.
No, it's cool because, I pushed her. I had her up against the wall for a second. I had her by the hair of the head, and I just pushed her wet body up against the wall and just took control.
I want to ask something, because Erica brought up something about, a mom, what if it was the mom. I wonder if any of our listeners have ever had a situation where the mother of the person that they were dating hit on them, or if it's the opposite way, the father of a guy they were dating hit on them. Because, that actually happened to me years ago. I know that's not what the show is about, but that just kind of triggered something in my head, and I'm wondering if that's ever happened. That ever happened to anybody on the line now?
Were you wearing the monkey suit at the time?
Listen, Chrissy wasn't here. Chrissy's here now, by the way, guys, and she didn't get to hear the monkey suit story, so she has no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, Chrissy's here?
I'm here, Trucker.
Hey, Chrissy.
Hello, Victor. How are you?
Hey, baby.
Darling.
Hi, darling.
I just want to share with everybody, after the last show, I mean, I'm not going to get into specifics, but after the last show, the lovely Christy had maybe a drink or two, and she had a conversation with Jeremy, and to this day has no recollection of it. But in fine fashion, and only like Jeremy can do, he actually made an audio of him acting like Chrissy and sent it to me. If I tell you it is the funniest friggin' thing I ever heard, he does a spot-on drunk Chrissy that you have no idea, people. It was classic.
I lose the southern accent and everything.
Yeah, you do.
Wow.
Victor, he calls and he goes, "Hello, trucker." The way Chrissy says it, and it was really, really funny. And you know what? I just might have to bust out that audio one day for everybody.
Oh my God, you need to.
Hey, listen, when Trucker comes up for the big New Year's Eve celebration, just make sure you're not in the room in the dark with him when he does that impression. He might have got enough trouble there, Chris.
Yeah. No. I have a feeling I would never, ever have to worry about my good friend Jeremy. He's, listen, he comes on the show and he shares, and he has no problem sharing these crazy stories, just like me and you and everyone else who comes on. But what you guys need to know about Jeremy, even though he's had a lot of experience and he has all these great stories, he's a quality guy. He's a Class A guy. So I just want everyone to know that Jeremy's actually one of my very, very close friends, and he's a sick son of a bitch, and that's why I keep him around.
There you go.
Chris. Thank you.
There you go.
So, okay, I don't want anyone to go anywhere. I think we have somebody else in the queue. Do we have Kelly with us? Kelly is with us. I want to hear Kelly's story.
Well, I was going to try to play devil's advocate here because I was like, you know what? You don't need anything sexier than me. We don't have to, pretend that I'm somebody else.
Okay.
I can do this. However, I did relate to Victor's story where when you were little and you just kind of played doctor with your friends. Yes, I did that. And then I did actually have an experience where, okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
It just kind of like went nowhere. Where's the story?
Yeah, this went nowhere.
Oh, okay.
But
so that is the story, that it went nowhere.
So, no. It was a fantasy. It was a fantasy with my gynecologist who was just hotter than hell.
Okay.
My gynecologist. And I was thinking, you know what? I have just thought about him like 1,000 times as I've,
masturbated?
Maybe, yeah. And I was like, I can't, that's not even normal. Is that normal? I don't think so.
Why is that normal? Listen,
Yeah, but this is a man gynecologist, so, I mean, he's going to be, he's penetrating you somehow. And even in a professional state, you're going to have some kind of visual because, so let's face it,
right?
It's not, it is, I would say that's normal because men want to be a gynecologist anyways.
Doctor-patient fantasies are very common. That's very common fantasy and very healthy, actually, kind of fantasy.
I think it's healthy. I think it's very healthy. I think it's very common. I mean, I think everybody's done doctor-patient fantasy. But I'm going to share with you guys a little role play that Chrissy has me do, if you guys want to know. Okay. Chrissy, I'm going to go there. Chrissy has a Michael Jackson, and by the way, yes, I want you to keep Erica and Jeremy on the line. Chrissy has a Michael Jackson fetish, okay?
Oh, dear Lord.
Oh, dear Lord is right. Every time she hears Michael Jackson, she just gets giddy and happy, and she's dancing around and singing, and you can just see the joy in her face. So one day I decided, you know what? I'm going to do this. I went out, I got me a white glove. My brother's friend, who's a big guy like me, had a Michael Jackson jacket. Victor, you see where I'm going with this?
I see where you're going with it, Chris.
Jeremy, do you see where I'm going with this? Erica?
Did you do the smooth criminal?
I was a smooth criminal. I moonwalked my way into the bedroom. She had no idea what was coming. She was already in there. I come out of the bathroom and moonwalk my way into the bedroom, and she damn near died. If I tell you, Christy, would you like to tell the rest?
No, you can tell that story.
No, I can tell it. All I'm going to say is, you want to talk about a smooth criminal? I was bad. I was a smooth criminal, and yeah, I was living off the wall, so it was one of those nights.
Chrissy, give us a woo! Come on.
That's hot.
I want to know from Chrissy though, what image of Michael Jackson is the hottest for her? Because he had his different, images throughout the years.
I have to say that I grew up listening to Michael Jackson, and when he was younger, when I listen to his music, I think of him when he was younger and when I grew up with him. I didn't like what he became right before that he passed. He did not look like himself. I mean, we all know what he did to himself. But, growing up and when he was Michael in the 80s, that's my Michael.
The bottom line is, she wanted me to be a young black man. And she wanted me to, give the and all that. And you know what? Hey, listen, I tried to pull it off.
When you came,
pull it off.
Jeremy, I know you have some more stories because we were talking earlier. Is there anything else you want to bring up?
Oh God, what do you want to hear?
I want to hear a role play or a dress-up story.
I don't know if it was a dress-up story, but more along the lines of me putting on a damn Speedo and acting like one of the Chippendales.
Oh God, that must have been hysterical.
Hey, and look, I was dancing to Tupac Shakur. Wonder why they call you bitch.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
It was awesome.
Well, I'll share a story with you guys, and this is a story that I don't even remember. Okay, when I was it was right before I went into the military, so I had to be 17. I was young. Me and a bunch of my friends went to Acapulco, and in Acapulco there's a club called Disco Beach, and it's a disco on the beach. And I remember going there, but that's all I remember. Woke up the next morning in my bed with a G-string and a halter top on. And this is a true story. A G-string, which obviously didn't fit me, and a halter top. I woke up and I'm like, guys, what the hell happened? They were like, dude, you have no idea. I said, well, tell me. They said, all we know is that you were partying, you got into some tequila drinking contest in the place, you won, and then the next thing we know, you were naked on top of a speaker with a big leaf covering yourself, and you danced all night, at least 4 hours, naked in the bar. And I'm like, get the frig out of here, not a chance. He says, dude, and now this is a true story. He's like, dude, all I'm going to tell you is you had about 20 other people get naked with you. He says, some girl went home with your shorts, your underwear, and your shirt. He said, you walked home 3 blocks from the Disco Beach to our hotel in a G-string and a halter top. I'm like, get the frig out of here. Okay, now this is where it gets worse. That's not embarrassing enough. The next day we go to a club called Le Dome, which is the big club out there in Acapulco. As I'm walking in, these girls go, hey, you were the naked guy from last night. You sure do look good in the G-string and a halter top. I was friggin' mortified. But I guess that kind of qualifies as a dress-up story.
Do you always cross-dress or you know?
Listen, if that's what it takes, I do whatever it takes. I'm not a femina, but if my girl wants me to dress up a little bit, hey, if it makes her happy, I'm going to do it. I'm a well-rounded guy, and I'm very secure with my sexuality, just like you, Jeremy. So don't tell me that you wouldn't get dressed up if your girl wanted you to. You'd have on 6-inch heels, lipstick, and a push-up bra. Who are you kidding?
In a heartbeat. In a heartbeat.
So we have somebody else in the queue, Victor. Her name is Joan. You want to bring her up?
Who's that?
Joan.
Hi, Joan. How are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We're
Wonderful.
good. Are you enjoying the show?
Yes.
All right. Who had the best story so far? Be honest.
I kind of am feeling a little ill about the rape thing, but then again, I'm kind of tingling, so.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
What about my monkey issue? That's pretty off color, isn't it?
Look, let me tell you, man. In the experiences that I have had, it's a taboo subject, but it is one that more women fantasize about, of having their man act like, you know,
no, I get it. I like it when
whatever.
my man gets all caveman on me, so I'm saying I might have to cue that up in the playbook.
See?
We might have to have a team meeting and, like, yeah, we might have to get on that.
I like that. You see, Jeremy, you're an inspiration to people. Do you see what I'm talking about? You are a friggin' sexual inspiration.
Hey, dude, you know what? When you trust the person that you love and you're going to be with, and you can let go of all your inhibitions and just do what feels good and do what you want to do, sex becomes amazing. It becomes mind-blowing. And, you know, I just, when I finished, I just stood over her on top of the bed. I just stood over her like, yeah, I own you. And
like
she
ball.
came, and she came again just by me standing over her and looking at her. I didn't say a word, and then I just got up and walked off.
You know, Jeremy, you're a regular therapist, and if you take the word therapist and break it down into 2 words, it becomes the rapist. You know that.
Oh, my God. Wait a minute. Let's hear Joan's story. Come on. Let's hear it, Joan.
Joan, let's hear your story.
Well, I mean, me and my husband have always had, like, really great sex. But, like, in the last year or so, we've really gotten into the kink, like, big time. Like, we've always had toys and things like that, but just spankings. And I like my spankings so much now. It's like, he'll come home from work, and I will just get right over his knee, and I can't wait to get my ass whacked. I'm just like, yes! It tingles, and I love it. It's, like, awesome. But and paddles and then I was at a friend's house and she's making soup and I'm looking at it and she has this awesome wooden spoon and all I'm thinking about is I could get spanked with it. This would be awesome to get spanked with. So,
nice.
Yeah.
You know, Joan, I have to tell you, you know, I think that a lot of people when they think about spanking, they're turned off by it. But then when somebody actually does it to them, after they get past the whole, oh my God, you just, you know, slapped my ass, they kind of like it. And from my experience, most people actually love to get spanked. I mean, Victor, you've been around a month or 2 longer than me. What do you think about that?
Beats the shit out of me, Chris.
You know what, man? I'm a crafty son of a bitch, and I've got an idea. And Chris, you can ask Kanisha about it. I've got an idea for a restraint table that's folded up, where the back is adjustable. But anyways, speaking of spankings, I made a cattail out of paracord. I just took some lengths of paracord, folded it in half, and then took some more paracord and wrapped it around and made a handle. And it works great. Even better than like the leather one, because on the paracord you need to heat the end of it up so it doesn't fray, so it leaves a little hard end. But when you smack it across somebody's skin, and I've used it on myself just to see what it would feel like, and I hit myself. No, seriously, I hit myself
you
with it just
yourself?
to see how hard. No, just to see how hard is too hard. You know, that way when I did you,
Jeremy, I'm sure you have a harder ass than Kanisha. You know, I mean, you know, you're a 6'5", you know, hardcore dude, and she's a tiny little 30-year-old sexy little thing, and you know, her skin is a lot softer than yours. So, I mean, what feels good to you might be a little bit too much for her. You know what I mean?
Listen, her tolerance for pain is a hell of a lot better than mine. Let me tell you.
Hey, Jeremy, I've got a question. Jeremy, have you ever taken a girl into a trailer and then used the cargo clips and ropes to tie her up in there?
I have not. There was a missed opportunity to climb up on top of because the back of the semi, you've got the rails that actually clamp the door shut.
Right.
You can climb right up those and get up on top of the trailer and just go at it, and nobody would call the cops. I mean, it's a truck stop. They're going to probably rub one out watching you. So, and that doesn't bother me. I don't give a damn if somebody watches me because I'm having fun.
There you go. Hey, Chris, I've got a dress-up story to share.
Okay.
I once went out to a UFO convention in the Midwest. I'm not going to mention the name of the city. And I dressed up as an alien gray, and I met this girl there and had the most incredible sex with her. I'm waiting for a response, Erica.
As an alien?
I didn't know. Listen, Victor, I knew exactly where you were going with that, but I didn't want to jump on it. I wanted to see if somebody else was going to jump on it.
But you kept
oh my God, you guys are making me blush.
Okay.
I want to say so many things, but I'm very reserved. I don't know why. There's so much
I have
I feel
a question for you. Okay, for those of you who don't know anything about Erica, she's, can I say the whole alien thing or no?
That's fine.
Okay, Erica is an abductee, okay, and a contactee and whatnot. So now, Erica, have you ever gone to any of these alien conventions?
No, I haven't.
Not really. I'm really surprised at that.
Yeah, no, they're just too far away from me.
Because what I hear, a lot of the people that go there are kind of freaky.
Yeah, I hear
have you heard that?
Normal people, though, in general, are, sexually aroused. Like more. They're more aware and open a little bit, or whatever it is.
Yeah, I would say so. I was just wondering. Because I know when I went to a couple of the paranormal conventions where Second Sight did the radio, the live radio feed, and I did a bunch of stuff there. That a lot of the people that go to these conventions are just they're really out there, and you would think that they're the type that would really get freaky. And I was just wondering if it was the same at the UFO conventions, because I had heard that some of the people that go to these conventions, and a lot of them are very well-known people and very,
I've heard some stories about some well-known, top of the line, getting freaked to geek. You know what I'm saying?
No, I've heard the stories. That's why I was asking you if you're around there.
I haven't seen it myself, though.
Okay.
Hey, Vic. Kanisha just texted me and said, "Tell Vic thank you for the great idea of the straps in the back of the trailer."
There you go. Of course.
Victor, you're friends with Kanisha on Facebook, correct?
Yes, I am.
Well, I've known Kanisha for about a year now. I actually met her and Jeremy on some app on the iPhone. I think it was called Thumb or I don't know, one of the apps. I don't know, but that's where I met both of them. And when you meet her, you're gonna really like her. She's another one of the real quality people that a lot like Jeremy, more reserved, but just like a really cool, sweet type person. And I'm looking forward to meeting them when they come down.
Hey, Jeremy, bring the tractor and trailer with you, and I'll bring load binders, and we can tie everybody up and have a party. How's that?
Well, see, that's the problem. New York City will not allow a 53-foot trailer inside the city limits. You have to have a 48 or shorter. And
Jeremy, I think you're exaggerating again. Come on, be honest with us.
I like at least 48.
Listen, I'd be good with 48.
Listen, I want to tell you something. I once met this woman many years ago, and when I met her, we started getting close, and she said, I just got to say something to you. She says, I can't have sex with a man who doesn't have a 9-inch penis. And I said, I really like you, but I'm not cutting off 3 inches for anybody.
Yeah, and then you woke up and that dream ended.
God.
I was at the sex shop a couple of weeks ago, and you know they always have the best stuff. But anyway, there was like a full blown fist, man. Like, and I'm thinking, ow. I mean, it was bigger than a baseball bat. I mean, it looked like a Hulk hand, man. Like, where is that going?
Yeah, I mean,
how are you going to get it back out?
In those sex shops, they make it very unrealistic. I'll say that. I mean, okay, Truck, you've been around, Jeremy. You've been around all the states and everything. I'm sure you've been to a sex shop or two. When you walk in there and you see the size of those vibrators and dildos and strap-ons and all that other stuff, a lot of it's just ridiculous, isn't it?
Dude, look, funniest story I ever had. Okay, so I was dating this chick, and we went to the Purple Onion, well, what used to be the Purple Onion, in Nashville. And we were riding around, you know, she had her friend. We were just chilling in the convertible, and we stop at the Purple Onion, and I hold the door open, and my girl went in, and her friend went in, and as soon as her friend went in, I shut the door behind me, and I just yelled out across the place was packed. And I yelled out, "We're looking for the biggest, blackest dildo, and it's for her." She turned around and smacked me. And the damn dude behind the counter said, "Look to your right." And I turned around, dude, and there was a 3-foot-tall black dildo that was as big as my thigh. I mean, this fucking thing had to have been 8-10 inches in diameter.
Okay, see, now that'd be like a party favor. I mean, no girl could actually use that.
I have some big ones, man. I have some very big ones.
Chris, I know a girl who could handle something that size. In fact, every time I've been with her, I had to put a 2x4 on my ass so I didn't fall in.
Oh my God.
Okay. I'm going to share a story with you guys. You're out of control, Victor. Okay, when I was in the military, I lived in New Mexico, and every Cinco de Mayo, you know, the 5th of May, that's the Mexican Independence Day, we would go down to Juarez, Mexico, and we always heard of the donkey show. Okay.
Oh, my God.
No, but the donkey show isn't what we thought. There was no donkey, okay? What there was a dildo at the edge of a stage, and if you take your forearm and put it on your elbow on the table and put your fist straight up, that's what it looked like. It was my forearm, okay? It was my arm, and I got a big arm, okay? And this girl comes out, and you're thinking, there's no way. She was this tiny little thing, very, I don't want to say very pretty. She was, you know, sexy in kind of an odd Mexican way. And I'm telling you,
God.
I'm telling you, she sat down on this fucking thing. I'll never forget. I remember sitting there was a row. There was 6 rows of chairs, okay, with all of us guys there. And I remember thinking to myself, there's no way. I'm like, oh my God. She sat down with her legs hanging off the stage. And I'm thinking to myself, there's something missing inside of her. There's no way. There's no friggin' way that something that big can go inside of somebody. It just can't happen. Okay, you think that's impressive? I'm about to blow your minds. All right, here we are. She gets up. Everybody's like, they cannot believe it. She takes a cigarette, okay? She puts it there, and you're not going to believe me, but my hand to God, I swear on my kids, she starts blowing smoke out of her vagina. She was smoking a cigarette from her vagina. Okay, you think that's it? All right, it gets more. There's more.
Chris, wait, Chris, what brand of cigarette was it?
Who the hell cares? But the worst part was, people were taking drags off that cigarette. I'm thinking to myself, are you crazy? She just had a 2-foot dildo inside of her. She's smoking a cigarette, and you're going to smoke that cigarette if it was in her vagina? Are you crazy? What the hell else has been up there? All right, it gets better. She takes a banana, okay? She puts, my hand to God, if I'm lying, should I be struck dead right here where I'm standing? Okay? She takes a banana, and she puts it inside of her. She then starts shooting out pieces of a friggin' banana out of her vagina into the audience. And these
Ow!
I don't know how the hell she did it, but I'm telling you, I swear on my kids that she did this, okay?
Is that what they call a banana split?
It was a banana. Eat the banana. Eat the banana, Joe, Victor. I mean, how do you eat that fucking banana if there's been
Chris, I can top that story. You and I both know about some of the clubs that were in Korea when you were over in Korea when you were in the Air Force, right?
Right.
Well, we had a stripper at one of the clubs that we used to go to. Her name was Coinstar. And what she would do is there'd be a Coke bottle on the stage. The guys would put a dollar bill into the bottle. She'd bend down, pick up the dollar bill, and drop 4 quarters.
Yeah, I've seen that. And you know what, people? If you think he's full of shit, he's not. That's a true story. I've seen that, and I've seen that as well.
And the gross part was the guys who would run up to the stage, grab the quarters, and buy them to see if they were real.
Yeah. Chris is over here saying women are amazing. I mean,
you know what is amazing though is Kegel exercises.
Yes,
absolutely.
Because I will tell you what, if you can have a baby and bounce back beautifully, but I mean I can totally get how you could get something that big up there. I mean, to a certain extent, and still bounce right back and be able to slice a banana too. But it's talent. It takes talent, man.
Well, I'll tell you what.
I
was blown away by her talent. She could have gone on America's Got Talent and won. I'd like to see what Howard Stern's going to say to her.
Oh, my God.
That's
right. I mean, she blew me away.
Hey, Chris, you remember on Howard Stern he had the Kielbasa Queen? Remember the Kielbasa Queen?
Okay, I'm going to share something with you. Okay, the Kielbasa Queen. Okay, I can't remember her name. Okay, she got her infamy on Howard Stern, and I don't remember what her name was, Chrissy, but she was on Butt Bongo Fiesta. My brother Danny, actually got her at my bachelor party when I got married. True story.
Wow.
Yeah, but you know what? I'll tell you the truth. She wasn't all that. She first of all, she wasn't pretty at all. Second of all, she was a nasty kind of girl. But everything she did on the Howard Stern show with the kielbasa and all that, she did at my bachelor party. And I got to tell you, I mean, that was all funny and we laughed and whatever. But she kind of grossed me out.
Ooh.
She did. She really, it kind of grossed me out. I'm not going to lie to you. I thought it was kind of gross.
I'm not feeling it, Chris.
Let's get back to role playing for a second. Now, has anyone here, any women? I'm addressing this to the women. Have any of you dressed up like a French maid for your guy? That was one of my fantasies, the French maid.
I haven't done the French maid. I've done the lady cop.
Okay.
I've done. Well, you know, just like. Of course, like the corsets and all that, but like what else? Oh, I did do the naughty secretary, naughty librarian.
All right.
Yeah.
Victor, yeah. I just wanted to know. Chrissy raised her hand when you said the whole French maid thing. I haven't seen it yet, but apparently, you know, that was from her past.
Well, I got it. Get a French maid outfit and a gorilla suit.
There's all about the gorilla stuff.
Okay, how about, hey, girls, have any of you dressed up as a nurse?
Oh, yeah, because I was a nurse.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so that really hits home.
Yeah, prostate exam time, boys.
All right.
Turn your head in cuffs.
Yeah, no, my question is prostrate, which one is it called? Prostate. Okay.
Prostate.
Now, isn't that the male G spot in the anus?
Yes.
Yes, it is. That's
Why is it in there
if
you're not supposed to be gay?
I have a great story about that, actually. My sister, who's like the most straight-laced, uptight, white bread girl you'll ever meet in your life, and acts so repressed. And one night, you know, because when we have family reunions, we absolutely have to get drunk to tolerate each other, so we got freaking toasted. And so she sits there and tells me, yeah, I stick my finger up on his butt, and then I tickle this spot, and he jizzes everywhere. I'm like, what?
That's right.
Yeah, but you can't do it too hard. If you do it, hurts like hell. It's like mashing a
I have really long fingernails, so I'm not thinking I'm going to go there.
No, you can't.
I think we'd be visiting the ER and yeah.
Yeah, no.
Isn't that a recipe for homosexuality though? When it's there, so doesn't that make sense? See what I mean?
No, hold on a second. Why does it got to be homosexual?
I think pleasure is pleasure.
Listen, I talked about this last week, the whole 3 pounds of pressure rule. Guys can have their butts played with as long as it's less than 3 pounds of pressure. Anything more than 3 pounds of pressure, then insertion happens. That's no. I'm sorry.
No, Chris, no, wait a second. Chris, what they're talking about is actually inserting a finger and then rubbing the prostate gland from the inside of the anus.
I get it. I know what they're talking about.
Yeah, but I'm talking about what if someone just does it with their, you know what I'm talking about?
I understand what you're saying.
You're going to make them switch the teams?
No, I can understand it. No, not at all. Because in the tantric culture, people who practice tantra, it's very common for women to massage men that way, and for men to massage women with their G-spot. So it's very common.
You see, I'm a bit of a hypocrite because I don't mind getting up in there on a girl. But I'm sorry, I don't, and Chrissy's guilty of this. She's tried, and I've had to clinch up a few times because she's very persistent, and
Chris,
I've had to clinch up quite a few times. Yes.
I'm not telling you to run out and do this tonight, but the next time you're receiving oral sex, allow a finger to be placed up there and rubbed while you're getting oral sex, and see how enjoyable it is.
It'll blow your mind. It'll blow your mind.
All right. Listen.
I don't get it. I don't think of a guy like that when I haven't done it, and
Well, listen, the pressure part of it is good, but once that seal is broke, I'm sorry,
Chris, wait, Chris, let me ask you a question. Do you remember your first blowjob?
How did it taste? Is that what you're going to say? Kind of like those, did you blow bubbles when you were a kid? Yeah, well, he's back in town? One of those?
I would do it, but I don't think my manicurist would appreciate it when I go in the next time so much.
You have to wash your hands afterwards.
Oh, God.
Oh, okay.
No brush. No, I haven't been with any guys that have ever suggested that I do that to them, and I just don't think I could. So, and I'm pretty liberal with things, but I don't know. It just seems like that to me seems homosexual by nature, which I'm not against, obviously, but it's either you're going to be with a man that's, you know what I mean? That's just me.
I don't know. I think
I'm not going to say I completely agree, but I do agree. Again, a little bit of play is okay, but once it gets a little bit too much, is too much. That's my opinion.
Listen, let's talk about another thing. How many of you women have ever played that you were like a hooker or an escort?
Oh my God! Everything you're saying, Chrissy's raising a hand to, and I see none of it.
You know what? You need to put Chrissy on and let her start telling some of these stories.
You hear that, Chrissy? They want you to come on and start telling some of your stories. She says she's a little shy tonight. She hasn't had any Jolly Rancher vodka tonight.
No. You tell her that Trucker Darling wants to hear her story. So.
I think Trucker's got his hands in his pants. Hello.
Well, you know what? Trucker and my Chrissy had, like I said last week, they had about a 20-minute conversation, which Chrissy has no recollection of, by the way. He was pretty lit up on Jolly Rancher vodka, and oh my God, if I could just tell you how funny it was. I think next week I'm going to pull up the audio and have them play it for us. What do you think?
Dude, you need to, because I found out more about Chris and Chrissy's sex life in 20 minutes than I ever really needed to know.
Yeah, and you want to know the funny part, Jeremy, is when I told her in the morning, she didn't believe me. She thought I was full of shit. She says, "You're lying to me." No way. There's no way I would say those things.
Hey, Jeremy and Chris, have either of you guys ever played photographer to your girl's model?
I have. Yeah, absolutely, I have.
I've had pictures taken for my husband.
Ooh.
Yeah, I
nice.
did.
I think I'm going to take some pictures tonight. Chrissy just doesn't know it yet.
Well, I did it for him, and then he loves them because every now and then, you know, I if I'm working and he's here by himself, he whips some. Of course, we both read Penthouse together too, but that's a whole other issue.
Well, hey, John, where are you from? Are you listening to one of our other radio shows, or no? Is this the only show you listen to?
This is the one I listen to. I'm from upstate New York.
Are you friends with any of us on Facebook?
I'm friends with Tiffany.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we're very happy you called in. You know, you absolutely added to the show tonight, and I want to extend an invitation for you to call in anytime you want, any Friday night.
I've always got stories, baby.
And John, I'd like to extend an invitation. The next time you're in New York City, my personal phone number is 646. No, never mind. I'm in trouble there now.
You know, I don't know, Tiffany, if you're there, why don't you come on the air and tell what your idea for next week's show is, and let's see how what kind of response we get to this idea.
Okay. My idea for next week's show is the proper way to give fellatio and cunnilingus. And we can also do some funny stories about maybe fellatio and cunnilingus gone wrong.
Oh, yeah.
That sounds like
I think this is a great topic. What do you think, Victor?
That sounds like a
We're
really
going to
show,
reenact the War of Southern Aggression.
Yeah, but we can reenact anything you want. Listen, I have stories. I know my buddy Jeremy probably has about 30, I don't know, what, 30, 40 stories, Jeremy?
I've got a couple, yeah.
I'm sure, and you know Victor's got one or two.
Chris, all I can say is Muff said. Muff said, no Muff too tough. We dive at 5. Local Muff diver number 69. Is that who you are? That's who I am.
Well, there you go. So that's going to be the topic for next week, people. We're going to talk about the proper way to give oral sex and oral sex gone wrong. You know what? I think that's a great topic. I think it's going to be hysterical. I have a feeling we're going to get some really funny calls next week, and I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to put it out there on Facebook and see what kind of response we get.
You've got to get Kanisha to call in. She's listening right now, so you call her out and make her call in next Friday.
Well, I will call her out, and listen, she's friends with me on Facebook and on Kick, and I will absolutely give her send her a kick or a comment on Facebook, and I'll get her to call in, and we'll see what she's got to say. It should be fun. So let me ask Erica, will you be calling in next week with a story?
I don't know. I find myself wanting to be so conservative on here, even though I'm not conservative. You know, I don't usually I think I'm intimidated by you guys.
No way. You're intimidated by us, little old us? Who are we?
How can you be intimidated after the story that I told last week?
That's true. Well, she wasn't on last week, Jeremy.
Oh, my God, she missed it. Yeah, it was a horrible story.
My mom heard all my stories, so I have no shame in my game.
There you go.
And when we appreciate that, we definitely appreciate that because it's great because we're all adults and there are not many adult shows out there where you can just say whatever you want to say and not worry about being judged, just having a good time. And to me, this is like a release. And, all week it's 12 hours at my job.
Literally a release, right, Chris? Literally.
Well, literally. Well, yeah, actually, yeah, because all week it's 12 hours a day at the job, and then all night it's preparing for Second Sight and doing my psychic work and teaching classes, psychic development and all that stuff. And this is like the 1 hour a week. I don't have to think about anything psychic. I have to think about anything paranormal. I could just talk freely and have a good time, and I tell you, this 1 hour a week is the hour I look forward to most all week. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm enjoying doing this show.
Hey, look, I want to say something real quick because not many people called in. I think they were either too embarrassed or whatever. But don't be scared to ask your partner, what is your sexual fantasy, and don't get mad at them when they tell you what it is, because some people might get mad. But there's no sense in getting mad. Just explore it. If it's something that you could do, hey, go for it. If not, say, well, I'm not really into that. But you know what? Let's try this. Would that suffice? You know, just explore a little bit. Keep it interesting, and just let go of your inhibitions. Don't get mad at somebody's sexual fantasy. Try it out. Hell, you might like it.
You know what? Well said.
I'm personally having the best sex of my life, and it's just because we are totally honest, and we're both pretty horn doggish. Also, that doesn't hurt, but we communicate all the time. We communicate,
right? And I'm having
everything.
I mean, it's opened up all new. Like, I don't know if it's just, you know, I've been married 21 years, but in the last, you know, couple of years, I've never had so good, you know what I'm saying? It's because my life's half over. But you know, it is. It's like I'm just sort of not. That's why I don't talk about it that much. But I mean, I've got stories, and I'm not sure I'm ready to say it all. But believe me,
listen. You have to have spice in your relationship, because what happens is, if you don't have spice in your relationship, when you first get together, you have sex every day, every night, every day, every night. And then a couple of years go by and you have sex once or twice a week in the bedroom. And then finally a few years go by and you have hall sex. You pass each other in the hall and say, fuck you. And if you don't keep it spicy, that's what's going to happen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's 100% right. I mean, that's kind of what happened to me in my marriage. So you're right about that. But I just want to throw this out, since we're talking about fantasy. Next week we're going to do the oral sex show. The week after that, we're going to do a show on fantasies. We want people to call in with their fantasies and if they've acted them out and whatnot. So we have a couple really great shows coming up the next couple of weeks, people. I hope you guys all tune in, and let's get this show known. Tell your friends about us. We want the listenership to go, skyrocket. You know, put the word out. This is one of those shows where, listen, there's so many radio shows out there on Facebook and all over the Internet, and it's all psychic, and it's paranormal, and it's just so much, and it's just flooded with paranormal and psychic shows, okay? This is something out of the ordinary. This is something new and fresh and fun, and where people just come out and be themselves. So spread the word about this show. Let's get it known, and listen, I'll get red shirt rooms made up for people. I mean, we'll take it to the next level, but you guys got to help us. So
spread the word. You got to spread the word. You got to spread the word. You got to spread your legs and start eating out of the Y, everybody.
There you go. Pint the Y, baby.
Amen.
Amen.
Hey, Vic, I've got a fantasy that just popped into my head, and I can't wait to fulfill it when I come up for New Year's.
Oh, what are you going to do up here New Year's? You better stay away from pussy.
Listen.
Jeremy, I don't swing that way. I did take a finger up the ass for my wife, but I don't swing that way. I'm sorry.
You know what? I need you narrating. Vic, I need you narrating as me and Chris go take a steam and he's in the monkey suit at Bally's.
No, there's no monkey suits for me. Listen, for those of you who don't know, I've been banned from Bally's because I had an argument with a couple of gay guys that were naked in there. That kind of, I didn't appreciate the fact that the meat and potatoes were so close to me, and I told them, and I've been banned for life from Bally's all over the world, and that's what Jeremy's talking about. So there will be no steam room talk.
Well, as long as he brings his 48 feet, you'll be fine.
Yeah, well, the people that listen to this show don't know that story. I might have to share that story one week, Victor.
Absolutely. The story about Chris and his onions and the Bally's steam room is a classic.
Yeah, well, there's
only a minute left. Are you guys going to be doing longer shows sometime?
I think we're going to keep it to an hour for now. We do a 2-hour show every Thursday night that we put a lot of effort into. We read books, and it just takes up a lot of our time. So this is more or less us just kicking it, this is like a relaxation show, where we don't.
You want more than an hour? Then you have to give us Viagra tablets. You want more than an hour? Okay?
No, it would be nice if we get Viagra to sponsor us. That would be cool. We might.
That'd be very cool.
That reminds me of the pick I made of Vic.
Thanks for letting me on, guys. I'll get off here so you have the last 30 seconds. This was fun.
Bye. Listen, you have a great night.
We love you.
Jeremy, you had something you want to say? There's about 30 seconds left.
Hey, man, just don't be scared to ask about a fantasy and try to fulfill it if it's, within your means. Who knows? You might like it, and it could revive a almost dead marriage or an almost dead relationship. Just try it.
That's true. And Victor, you want to take us out? We have about 10 seconds.
The Red Room, Chris George, Victor the Voice Fuhrman, Jeremy Trucker, and all our wonderful friends saying have some great sex and good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.